Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's Real People. Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And tonight we have a very, very special guest. And his name is Marius Roos. And he's from Eenheid Boere Stabiliteit, which is Farmers Stability Unit. And he has got a fantastic project that he's started. And basically what he's done is he's opened his doors to young school leavers who have no sense of direction in life or can't find a job, or kids just staying at home with no purpose. Most important, homeless kids. He is giving them self-defense training, food and self-respect, and a meaning for life again. Now without any further ado, let's cross to Marius and say hello. Hi Marius, how are you?
Hi, good evening, Scott. I'm very well myself, thank you.
Okay, I was just mentioned in an earlier video the internet problems you were having earlier, so I'm absolutely delighted that we got you.
Thank you. We're also delighted. Thank you, Scott.
Now, Marius, just with Real People, we keep it very sort of free and easy and just like a fireside chat. So what I'd like to start off by asking you is, tell me a bit about your childhood, your life in South Africa.
Well, I'm 52 years old. Obviously, I'm a South African citizen, born and bred here in South Africa. I grew up in a middle-class white family, parents working for the council and the father in the SAP. Then I matriculated in 1985. I went to the South African Defence Force where I did my military training. Thereafter, obviously we served in operations in Angola. I did some freelancing in Africa. And I also worked for the United Nations in the operations in the DRC, that's the Congo. I've got 3 children of my own. I've got 2 degrees behind my name. I've studied at Pretoria Technikon. And 3 years ago, no, not 3 years, 10 years ago, I decided I'm finished with the rat race in the city. And I bought a farm in the KZN, and this is the lifestyle that I choose.
So you're a farmer, aren't you now?
Yes, I'm a farmer myself.
Right. And which district are you farming in?
KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, cool.
Yes,
now, tell me how you've seen South Africa change since 1994, your own personal take on what have been the major changes.
Well, everything changed. I was raised in South Africa that I knew as a first world country on a third world continent. And today we're basically a third world country on a third world continent. There's no infrastructure. The forex currency for the rands is worth nothing. We're not far behind Zimbabwe. There's no infrastructure yet. the minority white people has been excluded from work opportunities within the Republic of South Africa, and losing land, everything changed. We even losing our dignity, losing everything. And with that, we're busy losing our lives.
Yeah, so you're finding that life is just getting harder and harder and harder.
By the day, and it's escalating, definitely.
Did you see what happened in Pretoria today?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, isn't it just shocking? Now,
it's just shocking. I actually feel ashamed to let the world, or let the world see what's actually happening here. I feel ashamed of what we had and what we have now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a tragedy, the incompetence and the corruption that's been going on, without any retribution. It is just shocking.
Yes, it's very shocking, Scott.
Now, let's turn to your project that you're running now. What inspired you to start this?
Scott, my own son is 17 years old.
Yeah.
And wherever you go in South Africa, you see these youngsters between 17 and 22, and even between 1993, now my age, there's 26 years at lapsed. Most of these youngsters, they've got no self-dignity. They see that they see themselves as useless. They've got no goal. They've got no meaning in the Republic of South Africa. And then I look at my own son. He's still old school, raised on a farm with conservative values and that. But there's a lot of youngsters like that has been neglected, that actually sit on street or in white informal settlements. And there's no space for them within the workspace within South Africa, with the BE, the BE laws and affirmative action, all that. So there's no future for them, and there's no future for the generation after them. So I thought to myself, the best would be to take these youngsters out of the white informal settlement, the youngsters that can't find jobs. We take them out of that negative environment where they sit in, we bring them to the farm where they stay in military tents or in army tents to accommodate them. Then voluntary, out of free will. And during this process, they subject themselves to various military disciplines over 3 months, and within that 3 months, a big growth for them spiritually, physically, and emotionally, from where they came and where they're going to.
Yeah.
Then after 3 months, they actually get contracted out to farmers.
Fantastic.
Where they pay it forward, where they pay it forward for the people that help them getting out of the slums. Farmers that feeds them with maize and all the other donations that we do get. So they pay it forward, and then they actually go out and some of them got a choice. There's youngsters here that goes back to their homes, where they will be a little bit more disciplined and focused on the future. The other people, the other youngsters have the choice where they will actually be contracted out to farmers, where they will be in groups or 4, 6, or 8, where they'll go to various places. Farm patrolling. You know what's happening with South Africa with land grabs and with farm murder. It's escalating, it's out of hand. So these youngsters actually lost everything in their life. But despite of that, they still standing up and say, we're going to stand up. We've lost everything, but we're going to take care of our own minority, and we're going to drive this thing, and we're going to make it work.
That is.
And then the other.
Yeah.
And then the third option that they do have is, and that's the main thing, is we can get all these youngsters, 10,000, 20,000 out of these informal settlements. And if every single oak in this Boere minority nation can donate 100 rand a month, we can have our own system going where we can create work for these youngsters. We employ them on farm to act as civil defense or a tactical response team, whatever you want to call it. And then also when there's major land grabs or major unrest, these people will be on a full-time basis where they can actually respond and react to any threat that actually the threatens the minor minority in South Africa.
Okay, fantastic. Now, do you have any of those young men available to come on camera, maybe a little bit later during this interview?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. I think what we'll do is we'll have a chat about your program, and then what I'll do is I'll get your banking details and I'll put them down below this video that goes on live. And
Okay.
I would encourage people to support you. Now, before we go to those young men, how many men have you got at the moment at your farm?
There's 18 here.
18. Wow. And
Beg your pardon?
I said, wow. And
We only started this initiative on the 1st of this month, so we've only been going for four weeks now.
right.
And what the people are keeping, I've got a request. I can pull in 100 youngsters here, but the only thing that keeps us back is logistics. You know, for each 8 persons that I do get in, I need a military tent, I need 8 beds, I need 8 mattresses with sleeping bags. These kids need to be fed. There's a lot of logistics that goes with it. So as the donations come in, we do bring in more. But the whole idea is to take them all of the street, centralize them, train them. They're like diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
Give them back to society, to the minority group, where they will pay this thing forward to them.
Yeah. And how's the program going so far, seeing that you've just started and it's in its 4th week?
Yes, we're doing very well. Would you want to know the disciplines that we do?
Yes, please tell us.
Okay, you see, the thing is, what the people have to remember, there's a lot of things going in South Africa around with the parties in control, the ANC, Black Land First, even though they didn't receive any seats with the past election, and even the EFF. They all have military wings. They all advertise that they do offer military training to their members. Military training. They state it out as military training, weapon handling, and they even stated they offer guerrilla warfare to the youngsters. And all these tactics that they learn, they actually apply it on the white minority. So we actually have to step up and call it what you want to call it, counteract it, or be proactive.
Yeah.
These type of things.
Absolutely.
What we do is that the kids stand up in the morning, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then they eat. They have to prepare their own breakfast. It's part of discipline. We try to give them a maize meal one morning, then matabela pop, and then jungle oats. The 2 days when they're off, the one day they get like eggs and bangers, and the other day they can have like wheat cakes, cereal with milk. Lunchtime, it's obviously bread or 2-minute noodles. We try to give them fruit in between, and in the evening, the one evening they get chicken and rice, and the other night beef with pop, maize meal or something. And what we do, so they do have to do their own breakfast. Then 7 to 8, 8:15, they stand inspection to see that their camps is, cleaned up, and the beds or the sleeping bags is all that. Then we do physical exercise, PT and squat drill. Then we do after tea to lunchtime, we do theoretical, we do practical.
Right.
We did so far, we did quite a lot of things. It's actually a crash course that we tried to do within 3 months because, we're running out here against time. So we're busy with abseiling now. Obviously, they need abseiling, even if might be a war in South African urban warfare. There's high-rise buildings and all that. So this week we did abseiling, but we started off with firearm disarmament because these doesn't have firearms yet. So it's very important to have firearm disarmament. Then they did rifle disarmament, a little bit close quarter combat techniques, compression techniques, edge and impact weapons. We did the NATO alphabet so that they can know the call signs, military hand signals, combat intelligence, where they have to gather combat intelligence, if there's a war situation, that they know what to do, what to look for, all intel. We did camouflage. We're doing quite a very broad spectrum. The formation, walking, everything that you can do, that's basically military. Yeah? And there's still another 2 months that we have to add to that. Yes, but that's what we did so far.
Fantastic. Now, talking about the stage 2 after 3 months when they're fully trained.
Yes.
Have you already got farms lined up for them to go to?
Yes, we do. There's already farmers that phone me that said they've got a need for 3 or 4, 5 or 6 or 7 guys. We already had people that came here that's a little bit older than what we expected that. And the PT is a little bit harsh for them in the training. There's older men, they fall in a different category. So these some of them already went out to farmers that I know that were prepared to give them a job, offer them a job. They're happy with the people that I placed out. They're very happy with the work. Even the farmers that took them in is happy. Although it's not for farm security or protection, but they did get placed.
I think it's a fantastic initiative that you're doing because it just makes so much sense. Because what you're doing is you're taking people who are just sitting doing nothing in an impoverishment camp, giving them hope, and then giving them a future on a farm. You know, it's just such a perfect project.
Yes, it is. And I do hope that the whole Boer nation or this whole white minority in South Africa could see the greater picture of this. Imagine that, I know there's a lot of youngsters between 17 and 22 that sit in this white informal settlements. And there's farmers that feed them with maize and take them clothing and look after them. But after that, they still sit there and they are inactive. Now, imagine if we can take all these oats out. They still have to be fed, but we fed them here in a centralized place. We subject them to military training. We make them worthy again, give self-respect, we build them with self-esteem. And then we pay that forward back to the white minority community, where they will actually look after the people and look after them while they're on camp.
Well,
that will be the end of this white minority, their problem.
Okay, well, I can actually just announce to all the people watching, we've got nearly 200 people watching the live stream at the moment, that in mid-September we're going to do another food drop. And if your young men wanted to actually, or some of them wanted to actually participate, I'm sure they would be most welcome. It's going to be taking place in Uppington, and what we have there are farmers who are absolutely on the bones of their butts. You know, they've got no food, and we're doing a very special food delivery for them in early September. Patrick's going to be looking after that, and of course Davi's going to be part of that as well. But that's something that they might, by being there firsthand, seeing what's happening, get some experience. In this food distribution side.
Definitely, we will appreciate that, Scott.
All right, now talking about your farm and the work that you're doing, are you looking for any support staff, people who can help you in a particular area, maybe a cook, or I'm just thinking laterally.
See, obviously, we at this time. The people cook for themselves. They self-discipline. They've got a roster where 2 oaks cook and the other do the dishes and all that. It's still manageable, but obviously as we grow, as the funding comes in and the logistics grow, obviously there will be needs for people to cook for the people and and all the other stuff. But at the moment we cope and cope well. But things like that will definitely have to be attended to, and there will be a need for that as the camp grows bigger. Definitely.
Right, and what sort of positions would you be looking to have filled further down the track? I mean, what sort of support areas are you looking at?
Well, basically any support area that you look at, any military camp, there will be medical support, logistics, if this thing goes big, the people in the stores, the people in the kitchens. Yes, basically anything that any organization needs, to keep going.
Yeah. Now, I've got a question here. Thanks, Michelle. Devalt wants to know the cost of the course. Now, I think it's no cost. Is that right?
Yes, the cost. There's no cost. I know there's other organizations in South Africa that's more for the elite that you can pay between 4,000 and 5,000 rand for a 2-week course. The cost costs nothing. We dependent on donations from the public. So when the youngsters come in, they don't sleep on beds. There's no money for beds, so they sleep on 2 wooden pallets with a new mattress and a new sleeping bag, a fitted sheet, a pillow sheet, and a fleece blanket. Then we give them overall, we give them the food. So we're quite dependent on money coming in and money coming in. So there's no cost. It's quite an intense course. What we try to do is, I know the South African, old military South African actually came from the Salute Scouts in Rhodesia. That's the first parachute battalion came from. They went to Britain to do that. And then also the 125 reconnaissance regiment in South Africa also came from there. So these it's a new thing that we learned. It's more based on the Navy SEAL and the US Rangers style, where we try to get away from the bush war that took place 30 years ago in Angola, and our war scene is moving to urban warfare. So we have to shift our minds from bush war to urban warfare in the future.
Right.
But it's a very new dynamic program, and it's a first in South Africa for the youngsters.
Fantastic. Now, is your project in any way associated with groups like Zuidlanders or Boere Legion, or is it a totally separate project?
It's a total separate project. We're not affiliated with any party or any other groups within the Republic of South Africa, no.
Okay, is it something that you would consider?
No, not at all. See, the thing is, if I have to consider to blend in with other groups, and this is the thing, the vision of South Africa, there's no unity between the minority. Everybody's got their own thing, and there's a big division between the people. It's a divided minority nation. So people spoke to me about that, but the whole idea would be to get everything to one program, one SOP, one command, and then take these people out on hundreds or thousands and place them out in various provinces. But if there's no standard SOP, no unity, no uniform, it will never work.
Right. Okay. Now,
because each oath got his own idea.
Okay. Now, after this group are finished and they've been sent out to work on the farms or patrol farms, how do you get your next batch of young men in to work for you? And do you take young women as well?
At the moment, we don't take young women. It will be a logistic problem because the ablution blocks is like almost open. It's only boys. The showers is like open in the veld. And so it's not about being sexist or anything. It's not going to work due to privacy matters and all that.
Yeah.
And then the thing, this is an ongoing project. This week, again, there's another 4 guys coming from all over South Africa. They come from all over South Africa. Then another lady phoned me. The people really want to come in, but we can only take in people according to the funds that we do have. If I have enough funds, I can take 100 guys in tomorrow morning. But to accommodate those guys in a military tent, only the tent costs 10,000 rand. So you can see the logistic problem here. You have to feed this out. It costs about 7 rand a month on a minimum budget to feed one person.
Yeah.
It feeds everything. But I have the funds. I can take 100, 200 people right in now. Yeah. So the only thing that limits me is the support system towards these people that I can take in.
Now, Michelle said Aiken wants to know what happens after the training is done.
After the training is done, it happens, there's 3 sections. Some of these oats, they're only here for 3 months military discipline, and they go back to the parents' home where they're a little bit more disciplined. Their self-esteem will be higher and all that. That's the one part. The other part is these oats that are here for training, most of them will go out to farmers that already booked them, they pre-book. And then some of these oats have to stay behind here to be like instructors, because as the numbers grow, I can't attend to 50 or 60 people on my own alone. So these youngsters that come in, that they've got the option to stay behind and act as instructors as the people come in, to instruct them and to train them. And then we also need people to serve in our community as well. So this is a bigger project concerning the whole of South Africa. And at the end of the day, it would be nice to have 129 guys in the province consisting of 4 sections of 8, that's 32 guys in the platoon, 42 make out a company of 128. I think once we get to that figures with South Africa, I think then there's progress.
Fantastic. Now, Davy is one of our heroes on this channel, and he says, this is the best that could ever have happened here in South Africa with our young men. Marius, the Free State will support you all the way. There you go. Now, Davy is a very influential fellow or farmer out at Bultfontein. So that's great feedback. Now, talking about actually the men. Okay, they've gone and they're now patrolling a farm. Do you still keep contact with them? Do you do like retraining or anything like that with them further down the track, or bring them in to actually talk to new recruits about what they do?
Yes, we do. It has to be a continuous thing. When they do get out to the farms, we try to get them under one uniform, one discipline, so that the people can say, this is the EBS, the Eenheid for Boere Stabiliteit. And then obviously they go there for 3 or 4 months, and then we draw them back, and they have to be, they have to go like a refresher course. Things changes, technology changes, combat system changes, and so they have to do refreshers. Even after the contract is finished, you come back to base, and then they can go out to another assignment. That's basically that. So once they're there, they're not lost. They still belong to the EBS. And the contract is finished, or the farmer decides there's no need for them anymore, they come back. But it's not only for farmers. Let's say that there's a hostile environment, and they take over. There's a siege over a city. Most of these farmers, they're full-time farmers. They can't attend to a situation and prolong it out. They can be there for 2 or 3 hours, and then they have to go back to their life. Their wife is calling them, the sheep is lambing. These youngsters, they full-time here for the minority. So these oaks can go, then they can sit the situation out for 3 days, 4 days a week, or whatever. This is what they've been trained for.
Yeah. Okay, now, Maria Reineke said, do you need a therapist? I will work for free.
Yes, we do. Some of these guys, they do have backgrounds. They do have, I wouldn't say issues, but they have luggage. We try to deal with it. And obviously, I'm not a professional by that. And it would really be appreciated if people can come here and give you motivational speeches and try to get him to leave the past. We don't go there. We're looking forward. We have to go forward. That will be really appreciated. Thank you.
Now, Maria, and also to where was it? Earth Hill. They're both wanting to make contact with you. So I'm going to put my email address into the side chat. There we go. That should happen. And if you just want to email me, Maria, if you just want to email me about the therapist situation, and I'll put you in direct contact with Marius. And Earth Hill for donations at this stage, we have got a bank account, but I haven't got those details yet from Marius. So if you just email me, I will put you in direct touch with Marius. Now, James has asked, do you have a website?
No, we don't have a website. We only have a WhatsApp group.
Oh,
we can add people.
Do you want to?
We can only add.
Do you want to give the number of the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, what do the people can contact me? Can I give you my cell phone number over this conversation? Okay, South Africa +7 is a code, then it's 079 28 00235. So the people, I don't send a link around, then you get people that's on the group that's not supposed to be there, that causes the video and all that. So the people come on the group by invitation. They have to be like-minded people. They have to contribute positively towards the EBS. And then I add them to the WhatsApp group. It's a closed group, so I don't allow them to comment on what's happening. Well, also people come up with various things, and they make it only a platform for talkativeness. So on the group, every week I do put progress, training things, and all that. So the people are quite updated every week on what's happening here at the EBS.
Okay, now did everybody get that? Okay.
And then I just want to add, obviously they can't have a chat on the group, But obviously they have my number, and if
Yeah.
there's any personal issue or any personal contribution or request or anything, they contact me direct or they phone me and use that channel.
Now, Gina Kalitz, who I think you might know, has just posted in the side chat, and she's given her cell number, and she says, I'm working with Marius, so there's another way that people can contact you.
I've got an email, but I would prefer on WhatsApp.
No, don't give that out.
People problem here on the farm. There's a very small repeater here, so the repeater gets bottled up, and then nothing happens, and then after a while it goes through beep, 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 and then there's nothing. So communication might be a problem.
Yeah, okay. Now, do you want to bring one of those young men across to come and have a chat?
Yes. Can I? Anybody in specific? Not that you would know.
No, just someone who's sort of outgoing and chats a lot. You know, someone who can talk a bit about himself as well.
Let me call anybody. Rohan. Let me call Rohan for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Marius.
Yes, Rohan, but the fund only got 22% left. It was fully charged. But you can speak to Rohan here. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Rohan. Good to meet you. Welcome to the Loving Life Community Channel. Tell me a bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Johannesburg, south in Kidlip Park. I'm 22. I'm struggling to find work, and Uncle Marius here actually gave me a new lease on life, if you can call it that.
Fantastic. And
I've only been here since Saturday, so I've only been here for like 5 days. So, but the 4 days I've been here has been extremely helpful, and it's been an eye opener actually.
Yeah. So has it given you renewed hope about a future?
Yes. That us as a group can actually work together to make South Africa a better place.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And Marius was saying that you do all sorts of different training so that you can go and work out on farms and patrol farms and things like that.
Yes. So as you know, I haven't been here long. But the thing is that they do teach us how to be self-disciplined, how to be self-sufficient, basically, how to survive in the bush or in the wild or anywhere. So you know how to survive in a combat situation.
Fantastic. And do you have family in Johannesburg?
I do have mother, father, brother, and a sister.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for coming on. Let's get Marius back on again. It's just nice to meet someone who's actually in the training side. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes,
Hi, Boris. Now, I'm just going to, I know you're running out of juice on your mobile phone, so I'm going to just ask people in the side chat if they have any questions they'd like to ask.
Okay. I'm just plugging in here for the charge so they can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Will that give you longer life on the phone, will it?
Yes, it's on charge now.
Ah, fantastic. All right. Well, look, can we get one of the other young men to come and talk to us? Just any one of them?
Definitely. I'll get anybody else. Thank you. Peter, come.
Devalt, he's training 18 people at the moment. Chandra says, I notice I'm 49. Good evening. How are you?
I'm and you.
Good. What's your name?
My name is Gavin Verse.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin, welcome to the Loving Life Community Channel. There are about 250 people watching you right now, so don't freak out. Everything is cool. Tell me a bit about your background. I mean, where are you from, and etc. etc.
I come from the.
Sorry, you come from
Free State.
the Free State. Okay. Which part of the Free State?
Bloemfontein.
Oh, Bloemfontein area. Oh, look, we've
Yeah.
just had Free State farmers saying that they're going to support this project fully. So I think that you'll very easily find work on a farm in the Free State. So
Thank you very much.
how long have you been on this project with Marius? I've been training.
I've been on this project for about two weeks now.
Okay, and tell me what you've been taught so far.
We've been taught from weapon training to close quarter combat, how to survive in the wild, how to camouflage. We're going to do abseiling now, and also river training, like in a rubber duck boat.
Okay, and what's been the biggest thing for you personally doing this course?
I think it's the discipline we're learning here. We're learning to be new people and to stand up for ourselves and believe in ourselves.
And that's a big change from what you were like a few weeks ago?
Yes, a very big change.
Tell me about what you were doing 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I was disrespectful, I was lazy, and didn't have such a big self-esteem. But now, since I've been doing this training, everything has changed.
So it's a very, very positive thing for you. And I guess you're speaking for the rest of the class or the other people in the group when you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what are you hoping to do once you finish the course? What's your ambition?
My ambition is to stay here at the training and to maybe become an instructor or, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And I'll get back to Marius now. You can just
Thank
get
you.
the boss back over.
Hi, evening, Scott.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, Marius.
other
Look,
gentlemen.
sorry?
There's another children here. If you youngsters, if you want to have a chat with them or you finish with them.
Well, let's have a chat to another one, because it's quite interesting
Let me
meeting
do that.
the students here, yeah.
Let me do that. Thank you.
Okay, no problems.
Okay.
I hope you guys are enjoying meeting some of the young men who are on this course with Marius. It really gives you a great insight, doesn't it? Good evening,
Hello,
how
Scott.
are you?
Pretty new.
Good, and what's your name?
Evan, Marius' son.
Ivan. Oh, you're his son. Are you one of the instructors, are you?
Yes, I'm also one of the instructors.
Ah, okay, fantastic. Well, I have to tell you, the guys who've been chatting to us on the channel here are just loving the course. They're saying that they're starting to feel inspired again, and their self-esteem has climbed, and keep up the fantastic work.
No, we will do. We will definitely keep up the good work.
That's
and carry on with
fantastic.
what.
Yeah. So, what's your role in the operation at this stage?
Oh, that's right hand man. I'm helping you with all the moves, all the training, gun disarmament, rifle disarmament, everything you need. I'm helping you with.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. If I can get Marius back again, you get your dad back again.
Hi, Scott.
Hi,
I just want
Marius.
to add you. Yeah, now, he's my son. He's 17.
Yeah.
So what the public out there to remember that Evan is part of this team,
Yeah.
and he goes through the same disciplines. Although he's very disciplined from the old school, upbringing,
Yeah.
but he's there to set example to the people. He eats the same as them. He does the same training as them.
Right.
And, all my military things that I do have my background. Even before I started, I used to practice every night with him. He's like my personal assistant trainer.
Yeah.
So he's quite familiar with firearm disarmament, rifle disarmament, close quarter combat, and all those other disciplines. He's been doing it now with years for me, for the reason we stay on the farm. So he actually comes in handy. He stays with the guys in the camp. And in the evening when we break 4 o'clock, they make supper. Then myself come up to the house. Everyone goes. He sleeps in the tent with the other guys. and then obviously, if the people need after our training, he's there to assist them to make sure that they're consistent with whatever they do, so that they can be effective.
Right.
Yeah, he's actually a role model for these people.
Fantastic. Now, the common consensus in the side chat is that they want to meet some more of the men who are on your course. So
they all start, but remember let me call you another guy here. Just hold on, please.
Okay. Okay, we might make this the last fellow that we have a chat to, because I don't want to disrupt their situation too much back at the farm there. Good evening.
Good evening, Scott.
How are you?
I'm good. My name is Fricky. I'm from the Northern Cape, actually.
Fricky. Good to meet you, Fricky.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you also, Scott.
And how long have you been on the course now?
Since the 4th of July, so I've been here for 28 days now.
Wow. So you're one of the first people to go on the course?
Yes, that's right.
And tell me about your life before you went on the course. What did you do?
Well, Scott, I was also really without work because I was working for a minimum salary as a debt collector. So my one friend that stays in Cape Town, Jaco Swart, he introduced me to this, and I spoke to Marius via WhatsApp also, and I've arranged for him, and we met up on the 4th of July. And since the 4th of July, I've really, it's been helping me a lot. I've got more confidence in myself, and I've learned a lot about self-defense, combat training that I've always wanted to do, but because I'm diabetic, I couldn't have done it because of the military that couldn't take me because I was diabetic. That's the reason why.
Right.
At this moment, I'm really, really glad that I've joined this group, and it's a privilege to be here, and a privilege to be coached by someone so professional and such a good leader. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic to hear. And what would you say the biggest change in your life has been since you've been doing this course?
Giving me confidence, giving me self-discipline, and just making my vision of life a bit more wider. Because everything that we learn, it's also it's got combat training in it as well, but there's a lot of things that you also learn that goes together with combat training.
Right. Okay, fantastic. And what do you want to do once you finish the course? Is there a particular type of job that you're looking for?
Well, also to be on the same path as the guys, to secure our farms, to avoid farm murders. That's happening too much now. So yeah, I would also want to be joining that same group to secure our farmers and our people in this country.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put I'm going to put Davi in contact with Marius, and Davi has a lot of contacts in the farming community, so we'll definitely get that happening. I think you guys are going to have no problems getting that sort of work out there on the farms.
Definitely not. With the training we're getting, I'm telling you, we can take on anything. So yeah.
Yeah. So does that include like nighttime training and all that sort of stuff? Does it?
Yeah, camouflage, everything.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. All right,
yeah.
Bring the main man back, please. Bring Marius back.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
I'm back, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you, Marius. Look, you know, it has been such a delight talking to those young men because, you know, you hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, exactly the impact that your course is having. And everybody just says it's fantastic. And I just want to tell you that this channel will throw its weight behind you where and how we can. You know, I think that everybody here in the side channel just says, wow, this is such a great thing. Is there anything you'd like to say to people who are watching right now?
Yes, I would like to say to all the people that already support us, from myself and the youngsters that we train here, out of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't emphasize how many times, a million times, thank you for all the people out there. And the people out there, have to remember, I only took the initiative to start this thing going. It's really growing, and I can see ourselves in the future with 300, 400, 500 youngsters that we can train, and we can put them back in society where they've been vetted, where they've been sleeping under bridges and all that. But this is the initiative that has to be supported by, not by myself, but from the people out there. Without the initiative, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
We need the support from the people out there. We need them to help us push this thing through. We just gave birth to this project 4 weeks ago. So we, the baby problem era, we're cutting teeth, and we still learn. We have to adjust and all that. But the baby's starting to walk, and then it's going to start to run, and need the initiative for the people that need the support. If the guys out there don't support us, it will not work.
Yeah.
Either logistics, morally, financially, it doesn't matter what your role is. Even if you haven't got money and you just say, listen, Marius, you're doing a good job, say hi to the guys. It's still the psychological support, and we need all the support that we can get as a unit from a minority white group in South Africa.
Yeah. Now, what's your biggest challenge going forward? Is it finance, or what is the thing that's really slowing you down?
Yes, it's the logistics. I can, as I said, you work out the cost, 700 rand to feed a guy per month. Then you have to get a uniform. When we do military training, we do shoot with rounds all lawfully, but rounds cost money. Logistics is a problem. Logistics is a problem. So if people can say, listen, Marius, there's X amount for you, get 100 guys tomorrow, I can get 100 guys tomorrow. But it's just the logistic support behind this to keep this whole project alive.
Yeah. Now, have you considered having like a sponsorship scheme where people can sponsor one of your young men? Like a monthly payment sort of thing?
That will really help. We gave it some thought, but we never put it down to physically on paper and say let's do it. But there's a lot of things that came by mind. Maybe sponsor them, or on paper, black and white, theoretically employ them, or But there has to be means to get this thing fully running.
Okay. The reason I ask that is because we have another project going with Patrick where, 9 children who live in impoverishment camps, their education has been sponsored by subscribers to my channel, and they're paying 1,000 rand per month directly to Patrick, who then pays the school, and these kids are then able to go to school. Now, we could look at trying to do something similar for you, where if you could come up with a figure that would actually cover the costs of, say, one of your students, we could obviously promote that on the channel.
That will be super, and that will be really, really appreciated, Scott.
Okay, now, do you have a ballpark figure at this stage, or is it something you'd like to come back to us with?
Well, probably, only to feed this guy is 700 rand a month. I don't know what the Australian dollar value is, but then obviously you have to look at a uniform after 3 months, because when they go out, they have to look professional. Sure. They have to reflect on the EBS. They actually represent a body, a disciplined military body. Yeah. So the public, the image that they relay out to the public is very, very important. Yeah. So obviously the people can sponsor them a uniform. I think a uniform, you probably look at between 800 and 1,000 rand for a uniform per guy. To feed one person is 700 rand a month. And yes, basically, if we can get that money per guy, it will really will really help. But then the people have to remember that these guys keep coming in. So as these guys come in and the people are prepared to sponsor, the sponsors has to show up or produce, by any means. It's very sad for me. We're coming to this stage that I can say, listen, maybe I can take another 2 or 3 guys. There's 8 guys in the section, and say, listen, we can only accommodate 24 guys now due to logistics problems.
Right.
If we can take the logistics away, this thing can be like a runaway train. There's no limit to it.
Right, because, with the sponsorship side, what would really work well is if the sponsor got, maybe once a month feedback about how that person is performing or what's happening and things like that. And from what you're saying to me with the food at about 700 Rand, buying the uniform after 3 months, the cost of bullets and all those sort of bits and pieces, in reality, you'd be having to be look at about 1,500 Rand per month, wouldn't you, to actually sponsor someone?
Yes, you probably look at that. And it's not really a lot of money if you do consider, no offense to anybody, it's their money, how they spend it is not my problem. But there's a lot of people that smoke, probably for a nice brand of cigarettes, you pay 50 Rand a day. Some people, only the cigarettes is 1,000 Rand a month, or the alcohol or the entertainment.
Yeah.
And this is really for good cause. So what you invest, these guys is going to pay it forward. And what the people have to remember, everybody's busy with their lives. They have to work. They've got a family to look after and that. And the day when there's really trouble in this country, these are the guys that's going to stand up. But they've already lost everything in their life. In life, they've lost everything. All they have is their own self-esteem now that's actually growing, and they've got their own self-respect going and all that. They only got their life. So these folks are standing up and say, listen, you people look after us. We are actually prepared to stand in for you in a war situation, and we will actually sacrifice our lives because you helped us. So, they're really paying it forward. And the people must not only see this as a sponsorship, they must see this as an investment that will pay off in the near future.
I totally agree with you. Now, Davy asks, do you have a parachute club nearby?
No, but we were talking about that. We actually talked about the guys here and said, we try to do the Navy SEALs program. And obviously, we've got no SEAL, we've got no plane for parachuting with that. So that's out of the training. But everything else they do learn. Close quarter combat, urban warfare. Even, we can step up the same as the ANC. And we can say we also teach the people how to do guerrilla warfare, how to set booby traps, how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah.
We share the same platform as the democratic government. If they can train people, we can do that. This is what we call democracy. If they can have military wings and they say it's okay, then surely our minority group can also have a military wing. Comes push to shovel. The point is we as a minority group have to start up and we have to look after our own interests. We have to stand up and say no more. Today it stops. The days of negotiating and run around internationally for please have mercy with us and this and that. We have to stand up for our own rights, for our own. We were born here. I can't go nowhere. These kids can't go nowhere.
Yeah. So
the people that sponsor these kids is actually an investment for the future that will pay off.
Yeah. Now, just so everybody here knows, Gina Callett, I've just put her phone number down again. Gina works with Marius, so that's probably the quickest way if you want to contact Marius. Sorry, back to you, Marius.
Yes, no, did that answer your question, Scott?
Yeah, no, that's great. Now,
the idea, what I just want to ask you, the whole idea that what the people have to remember here is that if we can take all these youngsters between 19 and 22 out of those white informal settlements, see, I know like there's farmers, like you said, Darby, these people take tonnage of maize every month to these white informal settlements. They feed these people, and these people in this white informal settlements, they're like in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
After they ate and after this, they just sit there and they've got no meaning in life. They're in a groove. So why can't we, as a minority nation, take out all these youngsters, between 17 and 22. We still have to feed them, but bring them to the farm, voluntary.
Yeah.
Subject to military training. We can still feed them, but at least they can learn. There's value adding to their lives. And after that, they pay it forward back to the community.
Well,
most of these oaks, I don't want to go back to where they came from. Most of these oaks said they're going to stay here.
I heard that.
The military force, this is the life that they're going to choose.
Yeah. I have to say that one of the things that really put in a sense of discipline to young white men in South Africa in the 70s and 80s was that you had to go on military training, and they had to be part of the army for a period of time, and that kind of, gave them a focus and a direction in life when they finished their military training. And I think one of the big problems that South Africa's got today is that, especially in the townships, you've got people who've got no direction, really don't care what they're doing, and that's why you have such a huge level of crime and violence.
That's true, Scott. So we try to break that chain, try to get those people out of that environment, and we try to add these positive things to their life, that there's hope for these people. These youngsters that I have here, they are nice young men. In these 3 weeks, 4 weeks as they come here, I've seen them develop. I see them as my own son. Some of them see me as a father figure. We've got the like a father-son, that we already have that type of bond between us. There's respect. I actually, when I look at these training DVDs, and I really validate, my heart actually glows, and I feel so proud. And then I think by myself, how could these people not see these guys lying under a bridge or sitting there? They've got so much potential. They've got so much to pay forward.
Yeah.
And why can't everybody see that? The minority here in South Africa, the people have to think there's maybe 4 million whites in South Africa, some left, some right. And out of the right minority, there's a big division, because I like to argue about anything. This is this and this is this. Yeah. And we have to start to see the good in people and not the bad. Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on the good side of people. And let's focus to get this thing off the ground. Educate these oaks. There's thousands of them. We can take them all out if everybody stands together as a unity. And if we make that, this is our goal. And they're very young men. They're extremely nice. Some of these oaks have been on street and they never took drugs. They don't drink.
Yeah.
And I thought, how can people leave them here? So these are some of the, I don't say all the people, there's a lot of good people that actually look after these guys in white informal settlement. But then the sad is the other half of the minority here, actually, when they walk past these oaks, they look the other way and say, look at these, this is rubbish, this is low class, but they're not like that. And then these oaks that has been forsaken by your own people, some of the people, he stands up and says, I still believe in the white minority. I'm still prepared to go for training. I'm still prepared to sacrifice my living style or my life to protect the people there that still have so much to lose, although they've lost everything. So they're still prepared to stand and say, we don't want you to lose what we had. We don't want you to become what we had. We have to stop this chain, and we have to start to look after our own people.
Absolutely. Now, where is it? Yeah. Rob Roy has said, how many young men aged 17 to 22 are in the squatter camps, roughly?
You're asking me, Scott?
Yeah. Well, that's he's asking. I think you said thousands.
I don't really know. There's a lot of squatter camps all over South Africa. You know what you have to remember, these guys, some of them are from George, PE, Northern Cape, Gauteng. The distance where they came from was 1,000 kilometers, 1,002. Some of them came by bus, some of them walk. I reckon there should be maybe 40, 50,000 of these in informal white settlements.
Wow.
That's it. They sit without purpose in life. Now imagine, one thing that I don't understand, a while ago, a few months ago, there was a big thing about DSTV. They were not pro-Afrikaans, the language, our mother tongue. And then these Boere or this minority whites said, we're going to boycott DSTV. we're going to end our subscription and we're going to throw the decoders away. Then there was a big thing, 100,000 white farmers or people staying in South Africa throw the DSTV decoders away, and they boost DSTV to could knock off 80 million a month. That's a lot of money. But why can't 1,000 farmers pay 800 rand a month and put 80 million in this project and take all the white oats off street, train them and put them back, pay them forward, use them in our own communities? Why can't they do that?
Yeah, exactly. Now, White Knight...
They have the capability to do that. We as a minority can do this. The people must see the big picture. We can do this. I believe we can do that. Why can't the other people believe that? Even the boys here know we can do it.
Yeah.
We can't rely on the ANC forever. We've been murdered. They took our land. They're busy taking the land. They took our jobs. They took our currency. They took our infrastructure. They're busy taking our lives. And if we as a minority in South Africa don't stand up, we will be extinct. They will only read about us in history. That's that.
Well, I find it so interesting how things develop on this channel because, as you know, it is a community channel. And through this community I have here, I have a number of people who are trying to set up white settlements in isolated areas. And, what you're doing would fit in so perfectly with those people as well. And, Davi just put up a message saying Patrick would have a huge contact with the impoverishment camps. That Patrick works in them continually, and he's doing a fantastic job. And he would be able to identify, good potential young men to come and join your project in the future.
So that will be appreciated, and that's the type of attitude that we need, a positive attitude that people should go in there and get these youngsters out. We build them. They're all like diamonds in the rough. We just have to take them out, we polish them, and we give them back to society.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Michelle said White Knight wants to know if you will do training for people from overseas. Now, I think what he's talking about here is that there's a huge demand for people who want to go on to this sort of training, and they'd be willing to pay for it. So that might actually help, supplement your costs if you had people from overseas coming in.
From overseas, I just want to ask them just to sort out the phone doesn't charge. What do you mean? They from overseas, they want to come for training here?
Yeah, exactly. You could actually, if you had a website, and on that, it doesn't have to be a fancy website. You can actually get free websites. We would certainly promote it. And if you had on there a course where you set out exactly what you do, and you might charge people, for example, $5,000 for 3 months training, or maybe whatever the figure is, and that money would hugely supplement your training costs for people from the impoverishment camps.
That will also help. We had the idea that we can even, they're more than welcome to do that. Every positive input will always work. We can also do that for the local people. I did it before I started this project. I did it in Johannesburg where I taught the people how to react in a hostile environment.
Yeah.
Certain human behavior that can trigger human aggression in hostile environments, firearm, disarmament, rifle. I did it for 2 months. It was things that I used to keep for myself, but I thought at some time of my life I have to share it to the people, to make it, just to increase the survival rate. But after that, I went in for op. I had my gallbladder removed, and I had some growths in my colon and all that.
Yeah.
And then I recuperated, and after that I said, well, now I'm going to take it bigger, and I'm going to involve the youngsters. Yeah. But yes, we can do training for local people and for overseas people, more than welcome. Then they can see how the guys live, they can see the environment here, and they will definitely learn. It's something they can take back, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Now look, I'm talking to the side chat now. Is there anybody there who can volunteer their time if they're a web builder to help Marius set up a website so we can start promoting some of this stuff? if you can, please just send me an email, okay? Now, White Knight says, yes, plenty of people pay $1,500 for such training or more. I was looking at, they cost about 5,000 US dollars for 30 days. So that could be a substantial source of income for you.
It will definitely, it will be, and we will not say no to an offer like that. And I'll make that people a deal. If they don't learn here what they're supposed to learn, I'll double their money back. But if they did learn, then they can double their money again for me.
Yeah, let me just see what other comments are coming through at the moment. I've got to catch up. Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I saw that.
Okay, charge me. 2%.
Okay, Maria Reinecker says, I know a person for website free. And I think Maria is going to be contacting you anyway. So, Maria, if you can just talk to Marius directly about that, that'd be fantastic.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. Who's that?
I see my phone here is on charge, but it's draining the battery very quickly.
Right. Okay, so how much percent have you got left right now?
Only 2%. Scott has been on like 90%. It's like the scalp. We try to keep it running here on the charger, but I think the output, the drainage is more than the input into the phone.
Okay, guys, I think we're just about to lose Marius. He's running out of juice on his mobile. Are there any questions you'd like to ask him? CB says, what are your thoughts on the recent EFF and ANCYL training?
Well, I've got no thoughts about that, but what these people have to remember, these people do these things and they try to scare the daylights out of us and they try to make us panic. There's no need to panic. What we do at the EBS is we actually use the platform that they use. We use the same platform. So if they shout, we're going to do military training, it's a democratic land, we can say we can also do the same. If they say they're going to teach guerrilla warfare, and this is from a democratic government setting the standards, then we can set that same standard and says we can also do guerrilla warfare. So they're actually setting the table, we're just going to dinner with them.
Yeah, well, and the other important factor is you're training these young men to actually form patrols, and it's a defensive thing. It's not to attack, it's to defend the farmers.
Yes, it's definitely only for defense, but obviously, you can only defend so far. But when the situation escalates, and let's say there's a civil war, these guys is quite capable of going over from defensive to offensive. But for time being, we are just defensive, and we are preparing ourselves within the law, and we are acting within the law.
Fantastic. Now, Marius, I know you're probably just about to die on the phone with your juice or your battery. Look, it's been absolutely wonderful chatting to you. We're definitely going to be working with you going forward. We have a very big platform. We have nearly 50,000 subscribers on our channel. Things do happen when I think we've lost Marius. Okay, guys, Marius has just run out of juice. So I'll just go across here. Yeah, unfortunately Marius has run out of battery, but as you can see, it's a fantastic program that he's put together, and if you are able to support him, let's throw our weight behind this guy. I mean, we've got a couple of really amazing people doing amazing things, and this is one of those cogs that used to be missing, and Davi will agree with this. You're very welcome, Gina. Davi will agree with us that, having someone who can provide that initial training and get those young white people who are stuck in these impoverishment camps getting a future, that's a huge benefit, and works perfectly with our vision and our goals to help the minority groups here in South Africa. All right, I'm sorry about his battery running out of juice, but I think we got the best of the discussion this evening. Thank you, Maria. That's fantastic that you can help. All right, guys. Look, I'm going to shut off the conversation in a minute because you came to listen to Marius, not to me dribble on. Yeah. Now, if there is someone who can help with the free website, I know that we did have an offer there. Thank you, Davy. That's great. Look, Davy, I'm going to put you in touch directly with Marius, okay? Because I mean, you got a lot of friends in the farming community in the Free State. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut off the Real People live stream. Have a wonderful evening, and this Sunday night we are going to be having another live stream. And I did touch on the subject earlier, and that is that there's going to be a big food delivery happening Uppington Way, and Davy's going to be involved in that, so is Patrick. And we're going to be hopefully having some of Marius's young men participating as well. That'd be a fantastic thing. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now. Stephen, you've said you're from Durban and you can help train these guys. Can you send me an email and I will put you in touch with Marius. Here we go. Just send an email to me. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.